Like and subscribe right now, or you're going to have bad luck for the rest of the week. Candies are one of the things that everyone loves, no matter if they admit it or not. Even though you might not consume it because you may be following a strict diet or for other health-related reasons, there's still no doubt that just every now and then you still enjoy a sweet treat. Nevertheless, the candy market is undoubtedly very large, so it is not very often that you see a candy ceasing production because of a lack of sales. Even though there are numerous cases of candy companies bringing their production to an end, most of them only made this decision as a result of other ridiculous decisions. 10 discontinued candies that went too far. Number 10. Trolli RoadKill Gummies. Most of us like to have gummies not only because of their fun taste and texture, but also because of their exciting shapes. We have seen gummies come in numerous different shapes and sizes. There are the famous gummy bears, frogs, sharks, and even some shaped like soda bottles. There is an endless list to the shapes of gummy bears that are found on the market. It is also very normal for companies to shape their candies into more appealing structures to catch the eye of their consumers. However, it is very abnormal to think that a candy shaped like RoadKill would be a desirable product. Really, how did the managers at Trolli even come up with this? Were they passing by fresh RoadKill during a long trip and thought, that is something our consumers might desire in the shape of a candy? Undoubtedly, the consumers did not take it very well, as no parent would want their children nibbling on sweet RoadKill, and older consumers found it utterly disgusting. Trolli eventually acted upon the feedback of its consumers and stopped its RoadKill production to focus on more conventional designs. Number 9. Candy cigarettes. Imagine a society where all adults and children have cigarettes on their lips all the time, setting aside the fact that some are real ones while others are candies. While the picture might look odd to you, this was how it used to be when candy cigarettes used to be sold. Of course, back then, people were not as aware of the health drawbacks of smoking cigarettes as they are now, and cigarettes used to be more common and widespread. Therefore, society did not find it unusual for candies to be shaped like cigarettes back then. They were even openly marketed as candy cigarettes and sold openly in shops. However, as people became more aware of the harmfulness of smoking over time, they realized that selling cigarette candies might set children on the path of smoking in the future. As a result, they were taken off the market. Nevertheless, they were later sold as candy sticks with a Popeye picture on the box, which was much better than the marketing done before. Number 8. Lolly Pipe. The discontinuation of candy cigarettes was not enough to stop candy producers from making similar decisions in the future. This was made evident when lolly pipes came out. The lolly pipe was basically a hard candy molded into the shape of a plastic pipe, particularly those used to smoke marijuana and other drugs. Apparently, this decision was made in order to widen their customer base by attracting adult customers as well as children, as diversity would supposedly bring greater success for the candy producers. However, the decision did not go according to plan, as instead of their market widening, they lost customers. Outraged customers complained about the lolly pipe, which forced the candy to be taken off the shelves for the greater good. Number 7. Nestle Magic Balls. Nestle is a very well-reputed production company that is well known for their success with a number of different products. If you are thinking that they did something ridiculous like the others already discussed in this video, you are wrong. They only tried to make the candy experience much more enjoyable for kids by providing prizes inside these candies that were licensed by well-known companies such as Disney. However, the FDA was not compliant with the idea of combining a non-food item inside an edible candy, especially because the consumers were children. The candies were eventually discontinued, but the product was later recalled and reformulated by Nestle to be approved by the administration. The Magic Balls were back on the market soon enough, and we see plenty of such candies nowadays, such as the popular Kinder Joy. Number 6. Hippie Sippy. We are all familiar with hippies and the hippie culture nowadays that has spread all over the world. However, it first emerged during the late 1960s, and this culture was rapidly influencing all kinds of markets at that time. Although it was successfully implemented into some markets, it failed miserably in many others. The Hippie Sippy is an example of one such failure. Like many similar candies in the market, the Hippie Sippy was a sweet liquid in a tube that had to be bitten into by the children and then sipped. However, unlike the other similar candies, the Hippie Sippy delivery system was shaped like a heroin needle. While the candy cigarettes were already taken away from the market for the bad influence they had on children, the Hippie Sippy producers had the audacity to launch such a product. Undoubtedly, it was immediately taken off the shelves and its production was stopped. Number 5. toxic waste nuclear sludge chew bars. By the sound of this candy's name, we would not blame you for expecting something very unpleasant to come your way. There is no explanation as to why someone would name a candy toxic waste, as it does not sound appealing in any way. However, despite its name, the brand was quite popular for its extremely sour candies. They decided to make other products using their signature formula by branching out, and hence the nuclear sludge chew bar was made. Although this name was just as questionable, it was not the main issue. The problem was that the company tried to live up to their name using their products intentionally or not. Trace amounts of lead were found in these bars, and the production had to be stopped immediately. Such occurrences are extremely rare amongst large companies, but the fact that it happened to a company with a toxic name and which marketed itself upon its toxicity had to be the victim of such a disaster is a wonderful coincidence. Number 4. Haribo sugar-free gummy bears. Haribo gummy bears are extremely famous worldwide, and deservedly so, as these candies are absolutely amazing. These squishy, chewy candies are not only cute-looking, but they come in all sizes and colors. Opening a packet of Haribo gummy bears might sometimes feel like opening a treasure chest full of jewels. On top of all this, they are absolutely delicious for their sweet, fruity flavor, and also go really great with frozen yogurt and custard. The Haribo managers thought that it was unfair for those who were unable to consume sugar, and so decided to go for a sugar-free gummy bear, so all people could enjoy the gummies. Everything was going good until it was noticed that people had to run to the toilets right after consuming one of these sugar-free gummies. The reason was a very powerful laxative that was used as a substitute for sugar. The people thought that it was better to stop consuming the gummy bears than having to rush to the bathroom every time. As a result, the sugar-free bears were taken off the shelves. Number 3. Smarties. If you were asked to predict the funniest, stupidest, craziest story that could get the Smarties banned, you would still not be able to come up with a story as good as this. While these small bags of circular candies were not as desired among children as much as other candies, 2 different school districts in Oregon and Michigan saw a sudden rise in demand for Smarties, especially amongst high school kids. Normally, when you do not like the taste of one candy, you go on to try another. However, since the high schoolers did not like to eat the Smarties, they decided to find alternative ways of making them useful. They crushed the Smarties and were seen to snort them for some reason. It definitely did not bring them any pleasure, just a few nosebleeds and some pretty serious sinus problems. While the store could not be banned for selling them, the school banned children from bringing them to school. Number 2. Kinder Surprise Eggs. The Kinder Surprise eggs were one of the most popular candies right after they were launched, for obvious reasons. They were the cheat code for bringing smiles to the faces of your children, or to stop a crying child from shedding any more tears. Not only was the chocolate absolutely delicious, but it came with toys, and children were obsessed with collecting these toys. However, the Kinder Surprise eggs faced a similar fate to that of the Nestle Magic Balls. Despite the toy being sealed inside a protective container, the FDA did not approve of it because of potential choking hazards or cross-contamination. They did not allow a non-edible substance to be mixed with the chocolate, and therefore the product was discontinued in the USA. However, it was still available in other countries. Smuggling them in came with a hefty fine and possible criminal prosecution, which made the risk not worth being taken. Number 1. Mauem. The Mauem was a fruit-flavored candy that became infamous for its packaging rather than its ingredients. This candy sold in England. It had a green mascot on the covering package of each candy that used to engage in different activities and looked to be having fun. However, 2 of the packaging of this candy showed the mascot having a little too much fun with what appeared to be a pair of cherries and a lemon. The packaging seemed inappropriate to a concerned parent, who brought it in front of the media. However, it was strange that no other parent or children thought there was anything strange with the mascot's behavior. Nevertheless, the company changed the packaging to one where the mascot was engaging in a much more acceptable activity, such as riding a skateboard. That is all for today's video. Thank you all for watching. While you're here, go ahead and click on one of these 2 videos on your screen. See you there.